Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Gen V. I guess I can now say season 1 review because season 2 will be coming in the future. Episode 7. I'm the God Killer, Travis Snell. I'm joined by
I'm the off with your head Taylor Field.
good choice. That's definitely a song. Talking about playlists. I mean, popping that on the playlist in the gym. We'll get that in spoilers because quite the juicy episode. As usual, everything you need to know is down below. You can find all the stuff, the Patreon, all the good jazz. But the main stuff is November 4th, our Extra Life charity stream. Please come check it out. As I was just talking about on Loki, we got a dodgeball, a gaming tournament, video games in general, dirty charades, a trivia battle. We're revealing a movie trailer for goodness sakes, poker. It's just a loaded. It might be our loudest stream yet for like we've had lots of events like with Gauntlet and stuff. That was always one thing. Like this might be our stream with the biggest variety we've ever had because man, there's a whole bunch of things. So we'd really appreciate if you could come watch and just spread the link that day. That is November 4th, starting 10 a.m. PST. We'd really appreciate it. You can donate now. You can donate later on even if you donate $1, because as I said before, if everyone donated $1, we'd always hit our goal. And we understand people have different money situations. Good thing, it's all tax deductible if you want to donate. But if you don't, then that's fine. Just come share the link. Come spread on that day because maybe someone that can donate will. And then you're just going to have a good time watching. We'd really appreciate it. We always are interactive with the chat. We're there for 24 hours in the house, so we got nothing but time to kill and to talk. Come talk to us about games, movies, whatever, Come play along during charades. Trivia battles going to be a great time. Just announce all the participants and hosts today. We're going to be drafting those teams. We have recorded. The patrons know who, but the newscast's not out yet. So lots of good stuff, but please, we really appreciate. We're trying to get $2,500 towards the BC Children's Hospital. All that goes towards families, kids in need, people that need help. We'd really appreciate that. So whether it's a like, a share, or $1, just for some of your time. And finally, you can go down also below and get the GV Extra Life 2023 theme shirt. We kind of have a Barbie theme going on this year. So it's the Barbie logo in the GeekVerse. That's the GeekVerse word logo and it's GeekVerse in the Barbie logo. It's a GeekVerse Barbie shirt. Go get it. It's our hardest selling shirt, and all the proceeds go towards BC Children's Hospital.
And if we hit our goal, Travis will go see the Beekeeper and review
Yeah,
it
I'll
with
see.
me and Kirkland.
Yeah, I'll see the Beekeeper. Yeah, we forgot to talk about Loki. We'll have to maybe talk this weekend quickly and try and see if we could figure out some goals to pop up there and everything. But yeah, just mini goals because I don't know if anyone's shaving their head this year. But some maybe mini goals as we get along and stuff. I want to make one of the goals like we have to sing like Ryan Gosling's "Push" from Barbie if we hit like 1,000 or 1,500. Like all the boys do karaoke.
I'll do some karaoke.
There you go. At least me and Taylor. I'd love to do it when because at one point when we do charades, it's gonna be all of us and our significant others. We could do like Barbie, recreate that scene where we have to serenade them with God, what is it? Push. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. Look out for that. Taylor Field, what did you think about this episode? The penultimate episode of Gen V. We got the finale next week. Lots of, check out Loki did that. Tonight, lots of big episodes drop in this past 24 hours, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for these penultimate episodes. You always know just like some good shit's gonna go down, and this had some really, really good shit. There was some interesting story developments, but I also feel like some of the stuff story wise has kind of like came to I can't say a close, but came to a dead halt for now in the story, and I'm excited to see where that's going to get picked up again, how they're going to deal with it. But I feel like they kind of closed certain things off presently in this episode. And that being said, there are some other things that open-endedly ended. Yeah, they're wide open, and that's going to be absolutely talked about in the finale of the season. And I can't wait to see the fallout of that because there's now a what was once a problem has kind of been quenched, and now a new very serious issue has kind of prominently displayed itself. And it's amazing how this one episode alone kind of just creates this issue, and it's just now represented, and it just seems like, okay, this is where I can see them bridging over into the boys. And because of what they've set up now and what they're going to probably tackle in the finale, it totally makes sense how they're going to cap into season 4 of the boys with what's going on with Homelander and certain other characters. So I can really see where they're going with that, and I'm digging it. I'm really excited to see the fallout of everything that happens with that. And that same fallout, however they tackle it, I again can see it bleed into season 2 of Gen V. So it's just kind of funny how it's probably going to go back and forth a little bit here. And it to me, it fits and it works. But the episode in general was really, really good. There was, wasn't super action heavy, but it was just really good. It had some really good story beats to it, and it did not shy away from some gore. It wasn't like a jump scare, but it was definitely a thing like, oh yeah, there it is, fuck. So
Yeah, no, I don't know where, because I think a couple weeks ago I said that one of these episodes was like could be a top 10 boys episode for sure, and I don't know if this one's in there, but this is definitely in the high level. If there's like the S tier, maybe this isn't S tier, but it's A tier, and I think it's S tier for what it sets up. I do think it's really interesting because this is minor spoilers, but whatever, you're at episode 7, so I feel like you're probably watching this, then maybe catch the episode later and then checking it out, so you get a general idea of what's going on. So it's not a massive spoiler. I just feel like we have crossed that line, whether you're for or against it, where Gen V at one point was a spin-off of The Boys, where to me now it has become The Boys season 3.5. You know, for me, that's not a bad thing. I love the MCU. I love connecting universe. I don't need it everywhere. And I know that was lots of people's worry with Gen V, like, oh, I don't want it to just be like MCU where you have to watch. And I was talking about then the Discord Mike broad point that could be true of you have to maybe watch The Boys to get Gen V, but not watch Gen V to get The Boys. I think for the most part that's true, but it's still just kind of, it's interesting how much this show is kind of aligned with this one. Took massive steps. I'll just say there's multiple characters from The Boys, important characters that pop up here, storylines that even from The Boys are getting answered here. You know, like I feel like there's one in particular I was like, whoa, and stuff that's really clever though. That's what I like about it, where it's all making sense. It's also not like 10 or 15 projects. It doesn't have like the MCU problem. It's just like one spin-off show. So yeah, the boys stuff, that's all good. I'm down for that, and I think they do it really well. I think the biggest thing is I'm very happy with the character dynamics. I think that's what we talk about. This and The Boys is like that, but this reminds me of Game of Thrones right now. Last episode and this episode especially, where you have your characters you like, and they're almost all of them are doing things where you're like, oh, I'm not so sure about that, and then things like, oh, I completely agree with this. Like, there's no character right now that's not in the gray. There's no character I really agree with 100% right now, because it's like, okay, you might want to do this, but that affects that. Or if you do that, this affects this thing. You know, like it's all like there's not a clear path, and that's a good thing. There's so many different dynamics with this group going on of these new Gen V characters of the whatever the teen youth people we have here, not just with themselves but with the greater world. It's great because like I love when you're watching a scene and you're not just thinking about, it's great to have great scene, character talking, and you're not just thinking about those two though. You're thinking about whatever happens to these two, what ramifications is it going to have to all these other people, because like it can affect people in all different ways. I think this was a stellar episode. Like I said, it could be the best. I have to think about it because I didn't have that same feeling like the couple weeks ago, but that was like you said, you had a bit more action there. It felt like a quintessential boys episode, where this was not exactly that, but still very well written. You're seeing a lot of effects of season 3 now trickle over. You already were, but even more so. So yeah, for me, it's the character dynamics. We have that many time with the boys, where you have Homelander, Huey, Starlight, Butcher, and they all have these motivations, and you really don't know. Like, it's hard to cheer for anybody because people have points. You know, even. There's times this episode where I feel like, man, am I the people in the X-Men that they're always fighting against? Because some characters making these points, I was like, they're not necessarily wrong, so it's tough. Anything else non-spoilers you want to talk about before we continue on?
no, I think that's it.
Okay, so if you've not seen the episodes, get out of here. Come back later. We're going to take our first ad break, then we'll be right back. And we're back. So yeah, I don't know where to go. Where do you want to start with this?
I would start with like the things that were kind of like closed off here. So we have the doctor and the dean, and both of them are now dead. So
Yeah.
I feel like the whole woods and the experimental like soup killer virus is just, it's dead. That's not a thing anymore. And I think maybe they could touch upon it in the future, but I think as far as it's concerned, it's not a thing anymore. It's in the possession of that lady from The Boys. I can't remember her name, but the woman running for office.
Yeah, so that's where we had talked about that before, where I said that this, I think, like Mike was saying in our Discord, I do agree. And join the Discord; it's always tons of fun. Join our music league; that's always tons of fun too. Got some friendly competition going on. 3-time champ incoming. So you have like. We're in spoilers now. This virus, right? That's where I was saying a couple weeks ago, where I agree that The Boys, you won't have to watch this, but if you want to get like the origin of this virus, because you can just pick up season 4 and they're just gonna go I'll have to find out her name because I don't want to say the woman because I've forgotten what her character name was too. But you're gonna go, okay, this character has the virus now, and we move on with the season. Where now, if you want to see how did they make it, what was the process, this is it, right? So I feel like these are good things, like little minor things to have as a season as connective tissue of okay, if someone wants to know how they made the virus, great. If they don't need to see this. There's little things with that character, but I thought that was good because we talked about, and I still feel like it might happen because we're seeing even our heroes in this episode taking different paths, aligning with people you didn't think they would. I still think there's a chance that some characters and Homelander might have to team up to take this thing down. But that's where it's interesting because so the idea was, yeah, the Dean was pitching it as a full, and we'll get to the Dean, as a full airborne virus. The doctor was not for that, and he was going to tell Vought, which he did, and he gave it to, the congressman. I'll find her name next time Taylor's talking. But you give it to her, so it takes out that whole, we talk about, okay, well, they can't just release it in the air because that's very dangerous, right? But that was the goal. But now the Dean's dead, and the virus is, because the doctor also got killed, head popped off. The virus is just like by, the one soup here. And I feel like it's not just for Homelander, but I do think it's for anybody to keep them in control now. And with Homelander, it's going to be, that's what's going to be interesting. If Homelander does something and she tries to keep him under control by doing this, like I said, I think there's a chance their Homelander goes to Starlight. Because it's just like, yeah, they can kill me, but they'll also kill you. Like they could use that against us, right? It's like Magneto and the Cure. It's like once Homelander's dead, he's dead. But then who's the next Homelander, right? Who's the next person they want to take out? And does this suit just want to be the only one? So I think it's smart that it's not going to be a global attack, but it's still something that they could replicate, make bigger. And I do think it is very much going to be keeping Homelander kind of in line, or she's going to use him quite a bit. So, but yeah, what do you think is going to be the result of this being she has control of it now?
I guess you also have that other lady who is aware of it too, right? Because the Dean went and confided in her, like, hey, like you gotta, and she was on the phone. She had the phone going too that was recording the conversation. So someone else is aware of this whole soup killing virus as well. So that's Butcher's boss.
Yeah, and I thought that could even be, I don't know if it's gonna be Butcher, but I thought there's a chance it could be Butcher. But yeah, she knows, at least two other people know about it.
Yeah, so that'll make for some interesting dynamics, I guess, upcoming. I totally forgot about that. But the girl, I mean, her maybe using Homelander, kind of controlling it. I don't know if they'll go that far. I think she's just gonna keep it under the rug for now. She doesn't. I feel like she could blow up Homelander or kill Homelander from the inside out. I mean,
well, we don't know
Marie
that, right?
Could, right?
Well, we don't know that, because they always talk about like how like strong he is and stuff. Do we know that
He's
could blow up
bulletproof and he's like laser proof, so he's just like his skin is very durable, but he can bleed because we see when Butcher got his Temp V, he was able to make Homelander bleed a little bit too. Well, maybe that was Soldier Boy that his ability managed to, but Soldier Boy's ability was to like erase powers. So it's tricky. But I mean, we've seen Homelander bleed. And if Homelander bleeds, then I feel like that's more than enough that Marie needs to just like make him implode from the inside. Or at least this woman running for office implode on the inside.
God, I'm trying to find her fucking name. It's like, even in this episode on IMDb, I don't think they even like put her Victoria Newman. Is that the character? Okay, so it's Newman. That's what it is. So we can start calling it Lacey. Have Newman. Well, I guess, so that's my question. Because it made sense with Homelander and her, but why, if she is someone that can just explode Homelander, all these characters, why does she need this then?
Well, because it can kill her. So it's best if there's a tool that is not in your possession that can kill you, I think it's very important that you make it so that you do have it in your possession and you control it.
So you think but do you think she's just gonna like wash this thing down a toilet and it's gone?
No,
Why would she keep a soup killing weapon if she could kill the soups?
Well, we don't even know that she's keeping it, right? She could be just making the call to get rid of it herself, but she just had to get it out of other people's hands, right?
That's what I mean by flushing down the toilet. I mean, like, do you think she's just going to get rid of it, period? I feel like I like the version better where Homelander can't be killed by her for some reason, just to make it that you have to use this cure, because then I just feel like, okay, what was the point of all this other than, yes, like you said, that gives an opportunity, but just because that Butcher's boss knows about it, I feel like they wouldn't drop it then, right? Because I just feel like why would you even have her learn about it and then you just like they got rid of the virus and it's not a factor anymore. I feel like it still has to be a factor if she knows about it.
Well, what do you mean? Like, so, oh, like they're gonna pull it in the future
Like
because she
writing
knows about
wise,
it? Well, yeah, I
like
would say writing
yeah.
wise, yeah, absolutely, because
Because
she knows
why else
about
would
it,
she?
they'll use it.
Because why else would she need to know about it then? Like just to get a scene of like, oh, another boy's character. Like I feel like that has to come into play at some point. So, and again, these are all questions that like these are good questions to have. I am interested to see. It will be something that yeah, if they never refer back to it, be like, oh, that's odd. But I think they will. That's why I just wonder if they keep it for Homeland or some sort of soup. Well, though even then though she could keep it in a way though, and she could still use it because I don't know. I guess because she just popped Homelander's head. I was gonna say, like, is there a way that she could use this and threaten Homelander so she doesn't have to reveal she's a soup? Right, like that could be a way that she
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
want to.
possible. Yeah, because she wants to keep it secret. Although I guess she's banking on Marie to keep her thing a secret.
She's banking that. That's one thing that I felt like was a little like I'm fine with it because she's making a big play. I thought that was like a little fast for her to reveal everything that she's a soup. We got the same power. I feel like don't you think
Well, that's
Marie's
pretty
gonna
big though, because not many soups all have the same powers, right? I guess unless you're
no.
invisible, but like that power particularly is exceptionally rare.
But
So
don't you think Maria's gonna eventually put two and two together that she's the head popping person, especially when the doctors died by like a head pop person? And it's like I feel like this character that the way they present her in the boys, I don't know if I would buy her revealing all this stuff to just this random person, a student who clearly has just shown if something's up, she will go to the higher ups and say, "Hey, there's a virus, something's going on." So I feel like she showed her cards a bit too much for the character I know at least. So.
it's possible. I don't feel like you'd really be able to just bank on the fact like, oh, I know who the head popper is. I mean, she did blow up a penis, which is a good foreshadow to blowing
But
up
that's what I
body
mean.
parts.
Like, why would? But wouldn't you? If that doctor also like, it's different if you see it on the news. But someone that's connected to the woods and the virus, just his head's popped.
Do you think that would go public? I feel like Vought would
Nah, I
easily sweep this under
guess
the rug.
she didn't make a call. She just left him there. That was a good moment though, where she like put the card and there was no card. And poor
Yeah,
guy.
and
I knew
also,
he wasn't making it.
no, as soon as they dropped like, and you're the only one who can replicate this. Yeah, I'm the only one. It's like, oh, you're fucking done.
I knew once they're in a
Goddamn.
parking lot with nobody. It's like, oh, I know you're meeting here because of virus, but this isn't good for you, man. I know you want to get to your family. And hey, again, a no good deed goes unpunished. If he would have just kept quiet, let these soups
Well,
die.
I don't think he reached out. Like he got reached out to by her because Marie mentioned the name to her, and then she went off and basically looked this guy up.
True, but I feel like he could have lied or like got rid of it, right, and been like, I didn't know any. Like I
He
didn't
could
know,
have,
like,
but I mean, he was pissed. He was pissing
was.
in the Dean's
Oh my
bourbon
God,
bottle. Like
yeah.
he was just he was not in a good mindset.
pathetic 24 hours. But yeah, Doctor's dead, Dean's dead. Newman has the virus, so we'll see. I think it will come up to play because, like I said, and even then, maybe you just keep it as like, what if there's a soup you can't pop the head of or something like that, right? So I think that's a good play to use it on soups because then she doesn't have to reveal she's a soup. Is the Maria thing a little like rushed for me? Yeah, that feels like a little easy, but I did like the reveal that that's her power. That her power is like that to me made sense with the nosebleed and everything. I thought with Marie's power, that's really cool. There is a bond there because for I don't really know what they're talking about. The whole like it's just like they ate the identical meals like that again. That's like a big stretch to be like, oh, we're like exactly alike. It's like I guess like I don't know if they're. I first I thought they were trying to center to like oh because their powers they got to eat a certain thing, but it's no just because where they lived. It's like I don't know if I buy that, but that's okay. It's just a bunch of. I think they were just trying really hard to have them connected. So then when Newman did the reveal, it's like okay, I buy this because Newman feels like there's a kinship there. But and she did offer right. She's like you'd be the first black woman on the seven. You could that could help you with the
Well,
political game, help you get your
she-
sister.
She was basically stating that in a very very logical sense that I really liked and appreciated how she was addressing that. Like yeah, like you're here and you wanna be change and make change, but you can't. Like Vought can just crush you and squash you out. But like you want to make that change, then you need to play the game until you get to that political position of power, and then you can do things the way you want because you can make a statement with that power. And I like that. Yeah, be the first black woman on the seven. Just make it happen. So I'm excited to see where that goes. Although I don't think Marie's gonna basically wait till she gets in the 7. I don't think we'll ever see this, like, any of these characters make it onto the 7. I think it'll just be them separate, and then I think the 7 will be dissolved before we get any of
Re-
these kids on there.
really? Yeah,
Mm.
it's interesting. I feel like you could see a character, but I don't know if it's any of our main characters. But I don't know. I could see Kate getting on there or something because Kate's dangerous. She's mowing down people and
What
everything.
about
But
Polarity? Want to see him pop in on the 7?
the guy who just had like a seizure.
Yeah,
and
yeah, he's not.
I
Doing
don't
so
think
good.
I don't think Polarity's making it to the 7, let alone maybe to season 2. That's which is fun. That not fun, but like it's a cool way of like they did that in Logan, right? They're like, oh, what happens if Xavier were to have a seizure and that caused like people to get like mind controlled and stuff. So I like that idea of what do you do when you put real world situations or sickness onto heroes and what would happen. So I thought that was good. I'm interested to see what happens to. Oh, why am I forgetting his name? Is it Andre?
Andre?
Right, it's Andre.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering. I guess I feel like, unfortunately for the team, a lot of shit's gonna go down while he's busy with his dad. So, and that's fair. That's granted. But there's like a version where he could come out of this and Kate could mind wipe all these fucking people again, and he's no better for it. Like he'll have no idea. But yeah, let's talk about the dean now because that's a big thing. So the dean, she's the one that they are working on this. They kill a bunch more kids at the beginning of this episode. The doctor seemed pretty fine with that. Like he didn't seem too shaken up, but she keeps hitting. It needs to be airborne, airborne, airborne. And then like we talked about, yeah, she calls. I can't remember her name, but she was, she's been since season 1. Whoever Butcher's been working with the older lady. She goes to her and says, hey, I got this thing. This can kill soups. I need your help. I'm going to do it with or without you, but I would really like you aboard. They go back and forth. She kind of says no, but even though the dean's like, well, but there's a part of you that wants to say yes. And I think that's the best part of this show. Like Taylor said earlier, the boss later revealed that she was on the phone with somebody. So like that could be Butcher. Who knows it might be. But she just told the dean to like drop it, right? So if the virus goes away for a bit, she's just going to think that the dean dropped it, right? And left it and didn't touch it, stuff like, but I think more will come out. We get this really good scene. The dean comes home. She sees Kate. Kate's waiting for her. And the whole episode's been about, can they trust Kate again, right? Can you make Kate trustable again? And Maria does. Jordan, not so much. They do this great scene where they're talking, and Kate kind of keeps slipping in and out to reading everyone's mind. Like she's trying not to, but she is because she's curious. Andre has a great moment where she's like, oh, you believe me, right? And he's like, you already know that answer, which we didn't get to know the answer. I think it was a no. But so there's these great dynamics, right? And it feels like and we'll get there this way with Sam too, but she feels like now she's trying to do what's best for her friend. She goes to the dean. The dean and her have this conversation about, no matter what happens after Kate, I'm going to look after you. And I love this really good touching moment where she reads her mind and she realizes like the dean's not lying. The dean, when she says she loves her and wants to take care of her, she's not like, she genuinely cares for her. So I don't know if she was going to try and take out all these other soups and find something for Kate to be like, not affected. But what happens is that's the last thing. They're kind of hugging. Kate realizes this dean's not lying, does actually care for her. We cut to the friends coming to this house, and they get to reveal the whole plan that the school's not a school. It's just a study session for the mutants to know their weaknesses and everything. They learn more about the virus. They're going to make it airborne and that they want to kill them. Kind of what we figure with the dean wants to kill them. We get revealed that Homelander killed their family in the plane crash from season 1. So there's some tie there. And this is where I felt bad because it's different. In X-Men comics, it's always the mutants happen. The humans are shitty to them. And that's why you root for the X-Men because it's like, oh, well, like, these are good people. Where it is tough with so much of the boys. We've seen so many bad soups where like I'm not fully on the bandwagon of release the virus, but like I'm not opposed to it in the boys universe just because I just feel that like they said, that's the whole conversation. We're not all like that yet, but there's just some soups that are just, they've done a lot of damage. And even Kate in this episode decides she's going to have the dean slit her own throat. She does a command to Marie so she can't save her because Marie was going to save her. So this was just an intense sequence from the second. And I forgot to mention too, when the dean showed up to home, she saw Kate wasn't wearing the gloves and he went, oh fuck, like this isn't good. So this whole sequence from Kate arriving there to the end of the dean, revealing all this info, slitting her throat, just a masterful sequence. And man, from the beginning, I've said, hey, something's up with Kate. And we got that reveal. Kate's becoming even more like, I'm not saying she's my favorite, but as far as the character I'm the most interested in, I think it's Kate right now because what a turn. I was expecting her to be a good girl, try to like just like win everybody back, but no, she's going like, and we'll get to Sam, but her and Sam are going full Magneto mode where it's the fuck them, we got to take them out. And I wasn't expecting this from Kate right away. Maybe down the line it could be, but right away already being like, fuck the humans, we got to kill them, or fuck the ones that get in the way. Again, and she's a scary character. You saw in a second, took out the Dean, made Maria completely inactive, just controlled Maria's body. So what do you think about this whole Kate, Dean, and Friends sequence?
I really thought she was having a relapse, and it was just she was cuddling the Dean, and she's back like, oh, she's under her thumb again. But that maybe for the briefest of moments she was, but that tipping point when she asked Kate to just go and kill the kids in the woods, that was definitely it. And so Kate was out like, I'm not having any of that. And that was a steep ask, Holy shit.
Yeah, especially because you have the virus. You know, you could have done that yourselves. You didn't need Kate for all that. I guess maybe Dean could have been thinking about this before the virus, but still, you already put that girl through enough. Maybe find a different route to go. But
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm enjoying and looking forward to seeing what comes out of this with her being on this hero supremacy side. And again, I wasn't expecting that kind of turn of events with this whole show presentation conference with all the University G Godalkin students just kind of all showing and attending there and just kind of like rooting on like, yeah, fuck you, soup supremacy, like we're better than humans and all that. And that just kind of like it's very much that that Aryan kind of Stormfront vibe that we got the other seasons. So
That one's more Nazi. It's
more
Nazi
Nazi,
derivative.
yeah.
Well, I can't. I don't know. That's the tough thing. They're clearly making, we've said this before with MAGA, Make America Great Again comparisons, but then people can they all the time will make those comparisons that MAGA is very similar, like Nazisms and stuff like that, right? So I guess they're one and the same. And yeah, because that's a good tie with Sam. That's what I love with this show, where the dynamics are all over the place, where I get why the Dean would maybe want to kill these soups because they've done all these bad things. They kill their families. So it's like, yeah, why wouldn't she want to? It's not like an evil twirling like the FOH and X-Men animated series, right? Where they're just like, fuck these mutants, they're ugly, we hate them. Like, this is like, she has multiple reasons of why we should get rid of them. Kate has multiple reasons why they should get rid of the Dean because, gonna kill the kids, all this stuff. Marie and the crew just are trying to hold together and not kill. Like, they just witnessed a murder happen, so they're going to be accomplices or witnesses. And then just the switch of position, which we'll get to, but I guess we can kind of get to them right now, where Sam and Kate are now aligned, which you would not have thought a couple episodes ago. And that's where I love where Kate kills her and then Sam says, oh, for justice. And Kate looks at him, and it's just this whole season, she helped kidnap his brother. She helped make him forget things. She did the worst shit to Sam, and now they're aligned. And that's where it's the Game of Thrones, X-Men, fuck, man, this is really good stuff here, because that's what it is. Like I said, they, right now the other kids are the X-Men, and right now Sam and Kate are the Brotherhood of Mutants. They're the starting of they're going to start recruiting other people, which you already see the people they can recruit, because now what we talked about from last season with Homelander, with all these people chanting, and even when he killed an innocent person, they all cheered. That's what these people are. They don't want to be oppressed, they just want to be heroes. It's very much like a Magneto thing right up there, the old past and where the evolution, and that's what these soups are saying. So there's these dynamics are so great. And of course Sam, super impressionable, he's told stay in this dorm room, he doesn't, he goes to this party. The guy that with the hat, that was the fucking,
that's the dick gone, man.
I will bring this up every episode. He's just living a life dickless. I'm so
Slide
confused.
on snow in the hallway. He's having the best time of his life.
I'm so confused, so upset, and so annoyed. I want to ask the writer so bad. He got his dick exploded. Did he not report this? Did he not even go to the hospital? Why is he just moving around? Why is he just so yeah, man, cool. For a man that lost his dick, he does not track, and it bugs the shit out of me every time I see him.
We're at the party. Let's go.
Yeah, I just every time I see him, I'm like, you have no penis. This should be such an issue, and why has it never been talked about? I would have been fine. It'd be stupid if they made some sort of, oh yeah, he can re-heal that. Then sure, but it's just his penis exploded. And even though he could, I feel maybe I could be wrong, and it looked like it could have been his balls too. That whole area exploding. That's lots of blood loss. there's just so many dynamics I have. But no, he's out there going to the make superheroes great again. And yeah, Sam, he has a beer, he has a party. He goes this thing, which is all the wrong people that are voting. Like, they're just yelling that humans are like not we're better than humans. Humans are shit. Like, clearly they're all in the, like I said, the brotherhood of mutant wise, where it's like, okay, and very, Donald Trump wise, where, okay, fuck these people, we're better than them. Let's stop listening to them. Let's move up. And yeah, I think Sam and Kate, that's very interesting. It's funny we talked about this, and I was wondering after last week, and this has happened before. I was like, man, Sam and Emma sleeping together, that's pretty fast. I thought they'd take a little more time with that, but I guess that's the reason, because I said, this relationship, like, something's bound to not go right, and already it's not going right, because he's going to be on that very violent, let's execute the human side, and that's definitely not Emma. Emma's like a really kind-hearted, caring person, and he's just getting manipulated again because he kind of has some aspects of the mind of a child, which I don't know what that says about Emma sleeping with him, but yeah, but I loved all that. The Sam stuff to me made sense. Again, maybe you could have done 2 episodes or something, made that a little bit, but again, he's an impressionable guy. So yeah, what do you think about Sam and Kate looking like they're aligned? Sam going to this event where now he's and it makes sense too, right? Where he's been locked in a cage his whole life. So I guess I do buy that as well, that he would agree that he's tired of being held down and like having to be hidden and not live his life, not drink a beer, because his whole life he's been pushed down. So
Yeah, I mean he's coming out of a very rough, as you said, pushed down kind of lifestyle. Growing up, his brother died, and
mhm.
he's been tested on and exhausted to the brink of just wanting to die alone, isolated, no social communication with anyone, and it's resulted in him just being, seeing puppets and not being all there mentally. So to put him in the situation now where he got a little bit of taste of that freedom, how life is great, like, oh my god, I don't have to hide from my powers, like I can just exert them and use them, and everyone else using their powers, we're all having a good time, this is great. And it's just so easily impressionable because here the humans just want to not have us use our powers, we're just to be shunned from society. So he's so innocent, and he hasn't seen both sides of the full story yet to properly
Yeah.
formulate his decision and take a proper stance. He's just very influential, like you said. So that'll be very, very interesting to see where this goes and where the line is drawn between him and Emma. Emma's throwing him some very concerning looks when he was like justice and all these different things.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be an
Not good
interesting
vibes.
dilemma.
Yeah, no, not good vibes. Emma, yeah, she's away just getting some stuff. Trying to think. Yeah, we talked about the seizure happening with Andre's dad. We talked about the dean. We talked about the doctor. Yeah, we talked about Butcher's boss. Is there another dynamic or something that I didn't bring up? I guess Maria and Jordan, they're getting closer. She brings up that when you ever get mad, don't be, just turning into a guy. We got the social media chick back for like a second, got her jaw broken, but then she can heal, so we got that.
Was that chick? I thought it was.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, she can heal. Yeah, fuck.
'Cause
She
she
took that jaw like a champ.
Yeah, because Jordan was like, "Oh, you're the one who was torturing Emma," and she's like, "No, I just got her to come out of her shell or something like that." And then boom and
Right.
stuff, because she needed to create a diversion. So Maria gets so sneaking. Even though I found it kind of funny that interviewer like have a conversation with Polaria or whatever, and then he like seizured and like almost maybe died, and then it's just like 5 minutes later he's like, "We're here with Newman." Like they just act like nothing really happened. Like this guest is almost keeled over, but. Yeah, is there anything? I feel like I'm missing something, but maybe maybe I'm
it-
not.
I got a kick out of the ambulance scene where Polarity he's having a seizure, and Andre's like, we gotta wake him up, and the medic, I guess the medic, yeah, it's just like, do something. He's like, I'm trying to do something. He's holding the van like in place, keeping the walls out, and like scissors are flying through the fucking air, the fire extinguisher.
yeah.
Like this doctor medic is just getting the shit kicked out of her. Just
What do you
fucking
do?
something.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
what
just like,
do you do?
What do you do? Like I said, that's why I always said I love that Logan dynamic of Xavier. It's just like, what do you do if this soup is just seasoned out and his powers are going? It's just like there's nothing, and Andre's trying his best. He's the ambulance. I like that gets like pushed in, and he's like trying to push it out.
That was cool.
He's being a good son, but he has to be there, but he's missing all his friends go down in the shit. I was worried that he was about to get his head popped for a second when they were watching the news, because that happens so much. And I thought, because they were saying stuff like, oh man, they're going to execute Andre's dad live on television. I didn't know the reason why, but no, I guess it was just a seizure. And they kind of talked about how they weren't as close as they like to be. And it looks like Andre, this is what makes me worried, is they they seem like they're making Andre closer with Kate, or not close, but like he's, warming up to the idea of forgiving her or something like that. And with him being away from the group, I just feel like he's gonna get some information secondhand and end up aligning with Kate again or something, and then by kind of mistakenly, and then Super Mike, he has a theory that says I think season 2 of Gen V will have them be fugitives. um, I could see that. I will say, no matter what happens with the show, even as much as I like it, I do feel like I maybe because I know they do those animated shows. I feel like we did miss out a bit more on just more of the school life, more of the shenanigans. I wish we got more of that because I think this back half is mostly, again, it's like The Boys. It's superheroes being shady, hiding around, trying to uncover a conspiracy. But yeah, I could see that. I kind of hope not. But now it's like, how much does this blow up of the school being like a study thing? I hope it doesn't. I hope they do one more year. But what do you think? Do you think by the end of next week they're going to be on the run? Do you think they'll still be students? Like, what's going to be the
Uh,
situation with our heroes?
well, I could see at least with Marie maybe kind of resonating and sticking with what that
Yeah.
this councilwoman said, like just sticking out at university for a little longer. You got to get to that 7, and that's when you can make your power play. But obviously, the dean being eliminated changes things. I could see them sticking around at university though a little bit longer with the woods being closed now. There's not. Their concern was just the woods and this virus, but that's not really a concern anymore. So with that being eliminated, now they can just kind of focus on their studies and their classes. I
Hmm.
feel like. Yeah, so I think that we'll get a little bit, maybe, yeah, this next season, them focused still at the university. I don't see them necessarily being fugitives just yet. I think there's still too much ground to cover before they become
Yeah.
fugitives.
I agree. That's a good point about the whole her staying and becoming, like, trying to think about, even if she doesn't become a member of 7, just having that as a potential route to go. And I feel like if she's a fugitive, you can't really have too many scenes with her and Newman as well. So
Hmm.
maybe not. I don't know what the fuck happens with Sam because I think he's a wild card. Um, yeah, it's funny because I said we wouldn't lose any, and I hope we really don't lose anybody. Like, I could see some situation where Sam does get killed. I could see some situation where Kate doesn't get killed, but I really hope not. I think they're really making Kate a really interesting character that I think is going to be like a really good foil to them in the future. She's going to be a wild card. She's not just because of the powers, but has that Emma Frost quality where she will flip flop between good and bad. So I really don't want to lose anybody, but I really can't tell you other than, like you said with Maria, I think she'll find a way back in the school. What's going to happen to the rest of them? I'll say the majority of them will go into school. I don't think Futures yet. Maybe season 3 if we get that far, maybe midway season. But it's true because they did just kill this person, right? And I guess they can cover it up. They just got to find, like, Emma just has to grow really big and just like eat the body, and then we're good to go,
Yeah.
right? You can't find it. So yeah. Anything else?
Shout out to Super Mike here. That's how they fixed that guy right up.
They gave him the Harry Potter bone growth potion for his penis. Well, one, the penis is not a bone, even though it's been called a boner for since the beginning of time. And two, sure, but establish that. Is there a potions class? Is there a penis virus rehealing class?
This
Like, it
virus.
just bugs me so much. And like, I'm not saying people, because I'm sure it's happened to lose their PS can of a life. It's just that this has happened like days ago, like maybe within the same week. It just like it's such a non-compute in my mind of like what's going on. But maybe in
Yeah.
the finale we'll find out what's happening with his penis. So but yeah, we'll be back next week talking about the Gen V finale. I think that's gonna be lots of fun. There's lots of, like Taylor said, lots of things have closed up, but lots of things have opened up. And I think there'll be probably a few more things with the finale that open up. Maybe we'll get a couple more cameos. And yeah, I'm very curious to see the state of our characters, because as much as I do want Kate to stick around, can Kate just go back to class with everybody as normal? I don't know. That feels a bit too easy, but we will find out. And I promise you, it'll not be boring.
Bye bye.